Good morning. So last week I said I was going to talk about facing your fears and taking action even though you have a fear. And it was really about that I was getting ready to put down my dog. And I was afraid, right? And there was a lot of things that I was facing with that, and I was scared to do it. And I thought, oh, I would share that, right? And it would be something that I could share with you about what I did to get through it. And, I did. I came up with a 3-step action plan that I was going to share with you. And I still will share that with you. And so one of those actions was first that make a pro and con list. Write it down, right? And if you write it down like, hey, here's why I should and here's why I shouldn't, you might find out that you shouldn't do it, right? I mean, sometimes fear is a real thing. It's telling you don't do it for a reason. And so you go, that's not a good idea. The second thing is to get a cheerleader, somebody who's in your court who's going to say, hey, you know what, you should do this, or, maybe you shouldn't, either way, but somebody you trust who's going to kind of say, you can do this. I know you can. I believe in you, and I know you can do this. A cheerleader is, you cannot discount how wonderful a cheerleader is. And then the third thing is kind of going back to Nike. It's just, just do it. Sometimes you just have to fake it till you make it. Take those steps and make it happen. So the reason that it was so hard for me to put down my dog is that, I've done this a number of times. When you have animals, eventually that's going to happen. And I love my animals. Is that, this dog was actually just senile, and very senile, and to the point where she really wasn't having quality of life, but she looked great. And so it was a really tough thing to put her down. And I struggled with it. And I eventually got there and I did the right thing, but it was hard. And so then now I have the confession part, right? Is that I was going to talk about this last week. And when it came down to it, I made up every excuse in the book not to do it because it was still pretty raw. And honestly, I was afraid I was going to start crying here and I wasn't going to be able to actually talk about it. And I didn't want to do that in front of all of you. I was scared, right? So I didn't actually follow my 3-step plan to do what I was afraid of that day and talking about that. And so I made up an excuse, and it was windy last week. It really was. But really, most of it was I was afraid of actually discussing that with you guys last week. So I apologize for not facing my own fears and bringing that to you. But I'm here this week. It's been a little bit of time. So, time passes and you get a little bit better at things. And maybe that's one of the things, too, is maybe take a moment and breathe and see if it's the best path forward. And maybe that moment isn't the right time. Maybe it's the following week. So I'm glad to do that, at least this week with you. Here's the sun behind us. There she goes. She's cresting right over top of the horizon. She's looking beautiful again. We got Dash out here, although he is not in the camera. He's standing over top of the rocks. I think there might be something in there he's trying to see it comes out and he can get. Maybe he'll show up in a minute. And then I have a special guest today. So I have invited, come on in. This is Janet Virgin of Janet Virgin Events. Is that how you say that right?
Yep, that's it.
And so she was on my video last week, or actually I posted a blog yesterday with Janet. And Janet is a fabulous event planner. She helps people with weddings all over the place. And so I invited her to come down and share the sunrise live with me. And really, if anybody's local, I'd be glad to have any of you join me for a live sunrise and then come enjoy this. So welcome, Janet.
Thank you for having me. It's early, but it's beautiful. It's crisp out, and it's a great day to be alive.
It is. And Janet and I were talking about this as we were walking down the shoreline, how hard it is sometimes to get out of bed because you lay there and you're like, do I really want to do this? And Janet had a commute to get here. I didn't have that long of a commute. But once you get out here and outside, how awesome is that, right?
It's beautiful. It's worth it. It's amazing. It's refreshing.
Yeah. And actually, we were watching some of the people watching. Some of them are our classmates from.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Pam
Janet
Rollins
actually went to high school with me, and so I've known Janet for a really long time. And so actually, she went to college with my husband. So it's a long-term friendship, and so it's good to see all of you on here with us this morning. Thank you for joining us. Like everything, friendship makes everything better. So that's true. And having people around you. So, you got a hey Janet.
Hey, love it.
Yay. So,
come down, Pam. Next time you got to get up with us and come down here.
Yeah. We're gonna have a sunrise party next time. Everybody come on down and we'll all hang out here together. Oh, Dash is giving Janet
Dash
kisses.
is my friend. I love him.
So much fun. So, all right. Well, hopefully, if you guys want to come, let me know. Send me a message, and I'll be glad to have you guys join us too. But thanks so much for joining us this morning, and thank you, Janet, for coming down and enjoying it with me. It's so much better with friends. See
Have
you
a great
guys
day.
next week.